Hello friends, this is Mrs. Rios-Garza. Today I'm going to be reading you a story called Thunder Cake by Patricia Polacco. It is a story about how to conquer fear of thunderstorms and thunder and lightning in particular. The author says that she lived in Michigan when she was small, and her grandmother had a farm there, and she would experience thunderstorms sometimes. And this is what she says: on sultry summer days at my grandma's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy. Storm clouds drift low over the fields. Birds fly close to the ground. The clouds glow for an instant with a sharp crackling light, and then a roaring, low, tumbling sound of thunder makes the windows shudder in their panes. The sound used to scare me. When I was little, I loved to go to Grandma's house. Babushka, as I used to call my grandma, had come from Russia years before, but I feared Michigan's summer storms. I feared the sound of thunder more than anything. I always hid under the bed when the storm moved near the farmhouse. This is the story of how my grandma, my babushka, helped me overcome my fear of thunderstorms. I know that a lot of us are afraid of the thunder and lightning which comes with thunderstorms. And just the other day, we had a thunderstorm here with thunder and lightning. And I remembered this story, so I wanted to share it with you. And here we go. Grandma looked at the horizon, drew a deep breath, and said, "This is thunder cake baking weather, all right. Looks like a storm coming to me." And here's the first page in the story. Oh, by the way, this is the cover. I forgot to show it to you. Thunder Cake by Patricia Polacco. And since it's just her name on there, that means that she's the author and illustrator of the story. And you'll love the illustrations. "Child, come out from under that bed. It's only thunder you're hearing," my grandma said. You'll see my dogs in the background here for a bit. Sometimes they come across in the background. Hopefully you'll get to see them. The air was hot, heavy, and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house, rattled the windows, and made me grab her close. "Steady, child," she cooed. "Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thunder cake today." "Thunder cake?" I stammered as I hugged her even closer. "Don't pay attention to that old thunder, except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting real slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. That number is how many miles away the storm is. Understand?" she asked. "We need to know how far away the storm is so we have time to make the cake and get it into the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be real thunder cake." There they are. Her eyes surveyed the black clouds away off in the distance. Then she strode into the kitchen. Her worn hands pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. "Let's find that recipe, child," she crowed as she lovingly fingered the grease-stained pages to a creased spot. "Here it is, thunder cake." She carefully penned the ingredients on a piece of notepaper. "Now let's gather all the things we'll need," she exclaimed as she scurried towards the back door. We were by the barn door when a huge bolt of lightning flashed. I started counting like Grandma told me to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the thunder roared. 10 miles! It's 10 miles away, Grandma said as she looked at the sky. About an hour away, I'd say. You'll have to hurry, child. Gather them eggs careful like, she said. Eggs from mean old Nellie Peck hen. I was scared. I knew she would try to peck me. I'm here. She won't hurt you. Just get them eggs, Grandma said softly. The lightning flashed again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I counted. 9 miles, Grandma reminded me. There they are getting the eggs from mean old Nellie Peck hen. Milk was next. Milk from old Kick Cow. As Grandma milked her, Kick Cow turned and looked mean right at me. I was scared. She looked so big. Zip went the lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I counted. Baroom went the thunder. 8 miles, child, Grandma croaked. Now we have to get chocolate and sugar and flour from the dry shed. She looks a little scared. I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse through tangleweed woods to the dry shed. Suddenly the lightning slit the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I counted. Boom, ba-boom, crashed the thunder. It scared me a lot, but I kept walking with Grandma. And there they go towards the dry shed. Another jagged edge of lightning flashed as I crept into the dry shed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I counted. Crackle, crackle, boom, kaboom, the thunder bellowed. It was dark and I was scared. I'm here, child, Grandma said softly from the doorway. Hurry now, we haven't got much time. We've got everything but the secret ingredient. There they are, getting the ingredients they needed. 3 overripe tomatoes and some strawberries, Grandma whispered as she squinted at the list. I climbed up high on the trellis. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. I'm here, child, she said. Her voice was steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached 3 luscious tomatoes while she picked strawberries. Lightning again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I counted. Kabang! Boom-a-room! The thunder growled. And there she is, climbing the trellis to get the tomatoes. We hurried back to the house in the warm kitchen and we measured the ingredients. I poured them into the mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I churned butter for the frosting and melted chocolate. Finally, we poured the batter into the cake pans and put them into the oven together. Lightning lit the kitchen. I only counted to 3, and the thunder rumbled and crashed. 3 miles away, Grandma said, and the cake is in the oven. We made it. We'll have a real thunder cake. There they are, mixing and putting the cake in the oven. As we waited for the cake, Grandma looked out the window for a long time. Why, you aren't afraid of thunder. You're too brave, she said as she looked right at me. I'm not brave, Grandma, I said. I was under the bed, remember? But you got out from under it, she answered, and you got eggs from mean old Nellie Peckhead. You got milk from old Kit Cow. You went through tangleweed woods to the dry shed. You climbed the trellis in the barnyard. From where I sit, only a very brave person could have done all them things. There's Grandma telling her how brave she is. I thought and thought as the storm rumbled closer. She was right. I was brave. Brave people can't be afraid of a sound, child, she said, as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table. When we were done, we hurried into the kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After the cake had cooled, we frosted it. And there they are setting the table. Just then, the lightning flashed, and this time it lit the whole sky. Even before the last flash had faded, the thunder rolled, boomed, crashed, and baroomed just above us. The storm was here. Perfect, Grandma cooed. Just perfect. She beamed as she added the last strawberry to the glistening chocolate frosting on top of our thunder cake. Look at that thunder cake. Oh my, it looks delicious. As rain poured down on our roof, Grandma cut a wedge for each of us. She poured us steaming cups of tea from a samovar. When the thunder roared above us so hard it shook the windows and rattled the dishes in the cupboards, we just smiled and ate our thunder cake. From that time on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. And here's the recipe, my grandma's thunder cake. I'm gonna put it up close, so if you wanna take a picture of it, you can. Or I'm sure you can call it up on Google and get the recipe for my grandma's thunder cake from Thunder Cake by Patricia Polacco. I hope you enjoyed this story, friends. And I hope you won't be afraid of thunder and lightning. They're just the sounds of the voice of storms sometimes. And I remember when I lived in Michigan, there were several storms because I lived there for quite a while. And I always enjoyed the thunderstorms. I've enjoyed the one that came here last. And I hope that you enjoy in the future more rains in California because we need the water. Anyway, I hope that you have a wonderful week. Until next time, this is Mrs. Rios-Garza. Bye.